Hello, my name is Desiree Leapart, and I am a graduate student enrolled at George Mason University in HAP 725 Statistical Process Improvement, taught by Dr. Alemi. This is my Teach 1 assignment to go over a Tukey control chart. Specifically, I'm answering question 6. In health administration programs, data on waiting times are examined in courses on quality and operations research. Using the attached data, determine if the waiting time in our urgent care center has changed. This is the data that we were given to solve the problem, and as you can see, we have 8 time periods with given observations for each time period. The first step in order to solve the problem is to order the data from the smallest observation to the largest, and this is important because we will be using these numbers to calculate our median for the upper half of the data as well as the lower data. The lower data set is the lower half of the data, so the smaller half of the observations, and in this case, those are the observations for time periods 1 through 4. The upper data set is the upper half or the larger half of the data set, which in this case is the observations for time periods 5 through 8. Now that we know the upper and the lower half, we can calculate our lower and upper fourth. Our lower fourth is simply the median of the lower data set, while our upper fourth is the median of the upper data set. And as you can see, our lower fourth in this case is 84, and our upper fourth in this case is 93. Now that we have those numbers, we'll go ahead and calculate our fourth spread, which is simply the upper fourth minus the lower fourth, and in this case is 93 minus 84, which gives us 9. Now we're going to calculate our upper and lower control limits because we have our lower fourth, our upper fourth, as well as our fourth spreads. The upper control limit is calculated by upper fourth plus 1.5 times fourth spread, and the lower control limit is lower fourth minus 1.5 times fourth spread. Specifically for our question, the upper control limit is 106.5, and the lower control limit is 70.5. Now I will show specifically in Excel how I was able to answer this question. So as you can see in column A, those are our given time periods, and in column B, those are our given observations, which represent our wait times. In column C, D, and E, I ordered the observations in order from the smallest to the largest. Then I used those observations to be able to calculate the upper fourth. And as you can see, the upper fourth is the median of the upper half of the data. So that will be 90 to 98, or time periods 5 through 8. The lower fourth is the median of the lower half of the data set, which will be the smaller half of the data set. And you can calculate these medians by using the median formula in Excel. So equals median, and then select the range for which you would like to calculate the median. Then I was able to calculate my fourth spread, which, as you recall, is the upper fourth minus the lower fourth, which gave us 9. And with those 3 numbers, I can now calculate my upper control limit as well as my lower control limit. And as you can see, the upper control limit is the same for all of our time periods, and this is also the same for the lower control limit. So with the upper control limit, I took the upper fourth, added 1.5, and then multiplied by the fourth spread. For the lower control limit, I took the lower fourth minus 1.5 and then multiplied by the fourth spread. At this point, I'm ready to create my Tukey control chart. And so how I did that was I inserted a line chart, and then I selected my data, which in this case, I added the upper control limit in the ranges, and I added the lower control limit in the corresponding range there, as well as the observations that were given to us in the problem. And on our x-axis, we will have our time periods, which are here. This is my final Tukey control chart, formatted according to how the upper control limit and lower control limit, as well as the observations, should be represented. And in conclusion, waiting times at the urgent care center have stayed within expectations, or you could say stayed within our control limits, with the exception of time period 4. During this time period, the waiting times were below our lower control limit. I'm Desiree Leapart, and thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know.